What about effects on groups of people? You know, like it could be a number of people in a car crash or in a collective household, the dog craps in the lounge room or something like that, you know.
Good.
Are the causes, like everybody's, like firstly, is that everybody's cause and effect? Or is it, you could say, oh, this is your law of attraction and not mine? Or, and are the causes, if it is everybody's, then are the causes related?
Everybody affected is involved in the cause.
And is the cause...
So a nation goes to war, everybody affected was a part of creating the cause of that war.
And is the cause, is it a common cause between people, or can it be completely different causes with the same effect?
It's usually common causes, yeah, of course. But often the underlying emotion is quite different. So, you know, you and I can have a very similar event happen to us, but as a result of a different emotion that creates that event happening. So, for example, we might be in an accident. You injured your left side of your body in the accident. I injured my right side of my body in the accident, because the car came from a certain direction or in the middle or whatever it is, you know. So we could say that we were both in the accident, but the fact that I injured one part of my body and you injured the other part of your body demonstrates that there was a different cause inside of both of us to that particular accident. Does that make sense? What happened to me physically and emotionally and spiritually is the effect of the underlying cause for me. Yep. So, for example, if a person is raped, the rapist and the person who's been raped have two completely different causes going on for that particular event. Does that make sense? They don't have the same cause. The woman who was raped didn't want to be raped, right? So she had a completely different cause going on as to why she was raped than the rapist, who did want to rape her, had going on inside of him. But they are both a part of the creation of the event. We're not talking about whose responsibility for the unloving action. So the rapist has the potential of not choosing to rape, so therefore has a far larger culpability for the unloving action from a compensatory perspective. But the cause is the souls of the people involved. Everybody affected is involved in the cause. Everybody affected. So if something like the roof fell in today on all of us, we would all be a part of the cause of that event. Does that make sense? And by the way, the council would also be a part of the cause of the event because it affects them. Financially it affects them, so they would also be a part of the cause of the event. Does that make sense? Everybody affected is involved in the cause.
So, like, if in that situation, might all of our emotions be completely different that have caused us to be involved in that?
Yes, they will be different because it will affect us in different ways. And how it affects us determines what the cause is. But obviously we are affected by being involved, so there is some effect created by our cause. So for example, something happens on the other side of the world and you turn on the telly right at the moment and that's the first thing you see. You are involved in the cause of that event. Does that make sense? Because it just affected you. It just affected you. So you are involved in the cause. There's something inside of you that added to the event to actually cause it. Can I just... that needs to settle with you. Because you start understanding. This is where it's very important to understand this law, because if you start understanding how everything in your life is actually that is a part of your life is involved because of the cause that happened in your own soul, that there's something in your own soul creating it, you start to actually, for the first time in your life, have the power to change things. You see, the majority of us are addicted to changing effects. And the problem with being addicted to changing effects is that we are reducing the power of our own soul. Because our own soul is the most powerful when we address the cause rather than the effect. And most of us are purposefully reducing the power of our own soul by continuing to attempt to address the effects. And if we had instead focused on the cause, we would be increasing the power of our own soul. And quite often exponentially so, because once you address the cause, now a whole series of potential future events or effects that could have happened now no longer will happen. So you not only solve this particular event, but you now solve or have the solution to every single event that is caused by the same thing. Can you see, like, the power of that? And this power occurs positively and negatively. So we've been talking a lot about the negative effects of different causes, but there is positive effects of different causes too. For example, if you exercise a passionate desire in harmony with love, the law of cause and effect will demonstrate to you that actually you will always get the things that you desire. Because it's a natural consequence of the law of cause and effect. You see? And this is why I've been emphasising to many of you, follow your desires, find your desires, embrace them, really follow them. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be shying away from them. Don't be trying to ask other people what they are or any of those kind of things. You need to embrace that because there's a positive side to every single law. You know, you have to remember that all of God's laws are loving. Every one of them. So that means the law of cause and effect is loving. And everything can be embraced in a loving manner and have a positive outcome as a result. Because it's loving. So the law of cause and effect, when understood and actually embraced in a loving manner, what it will do is it will have everybody affected is involved in the cause that was positive, not negative. Do you follow that?